We are live, and I just noticed something. I'm Lynn Brown, and the little live button on the Hangouts here matches Ellie's shirt today. So anyway, I don't know. It just looks like it.
That means Ellie is live.
Ellie and Carol, we're all live here, and this is the $1 Million Mission, and we're going to go over the 7 critical must-do steps when starting an online business. This is going to be really cool, folks. So, but you know what we do first? We have to, right, toast to our success, toast to the $1 Million Mission, the journey. We have to get it going. So here we go, gals. Cheers.
Cheers. Salute.
Salute. Salute.
Salute.
All right, so a lot of things are going on lately. It's craziness out here on the internet, and so Carol brought up a really good topic to discuss this week, and Ellie made some really good inputs, and then the three of us together, this is how we formulate our topics and what we want to talk about. So it's really cool. As you can tell, when you mastermind with people, it really can develop into some really great content and valuable information that we're going to share today. So to start off, guess what we're going to talk about? The first critical area, the first critical step. If you notice the graphic that we sent out for this Hangout, there was a bunch of stair steps, right? And that's exactly what our success is. In fact, I just wrote a blog post about success starts from 0. Everybody starts at 0. So if you're at that bottom step, how do you get to the top? But if you noticed at the very top of those stairs, there is light. There is light up there. So you will see success. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is your why, your purpose, the mindset. And who better to lead us off on this but Carol, right? Carol's going to lead us off with critical step number 1, your mindset.
2 things. First of all, you left yourself out, Lynn, about our graphics expert.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And secondly, I'll start us off on mindset, and certainly the guru here, Ellie, will pick up, I'm sure, and go from there. But yeah, it's great to be here tonight, so let's get started. Mindset. Why? First of all, you've heard it said many times, and as time goes on, the more time I spend in this business, the more I am convinced that mindset and personal development and all that stuff are absolute necessities for the foundation of this business. Now you might say, why? Well, especially if you're coming from a job or something. If you're coming from a job, you're used to somebody laying out what you need to do. Your why is you're there to make an income and pay your bills and what have you. And there's not a lot, whether you like it or not, it's too bad you're there. That's the way it goes. However, when you go into a business, you choose to be there. So it's your choice. Now, if you're going to make a choice, you're going to want it to be successful. And in order for it to be successful, there's some certain things that you have to think about. And that is, number 1, do you believe that you're going to make it? Do you believe that you can do this? Do you believe that it's possible for you to succeed? And the next thing, as like part A and part B of that, I would say, your why. Why are you going into business? For myself, I can say it was for the freedom aspect. The only thing I regret is that I didn't do it sooner. But, regrets be gone. Freedom, and I will talk more about freedom because that means so many things to so many different people. And so does the why. The why actually is, again, as I'm spending more and more time in this business, I'm finding that it's like an onion. And, the original reason why I thought I came into this was one thing. And then the longer I stayed in, I began to see some other reasons. And then as those reasons began to unfold, I saw a deeper level yet. I mean, clearly I came in to earn an income, a decent income, and I wanted to be on my own time at home or wherever I choose to be. And then I learned that surely this is the greatest avenue in the world for helping other people. And that goes so many different ways. I mean, we have people who go on missions to other countries to bring material things to them that they need there. We have people who are building schools in other countries. We have people who are lending a hand to people in the business who are floundering and not getting a good grounding in where they're going, not knowing what to do. And that's kind of why we're having this tonight, so that hopefully we can help people, some people get started on that. But that said, I'm going to close off right now and pass it along to Ellie, I guess. You want to pick up?
Yeah, sure. First of all, my lower third disappeared again, just in case. So I am Ellie Walsh. On my lower third, I put it up. That's where you can see Carol and Lynn's name. I put mine up, and then poof, it just disappears. So whatever, here I am. I'm gonna get a thing, put a lower third on my shirt here. You know, I just went right to what you said originally. Do you believe? You know, and the answer probably is no. You probably don't really believe. Not if you've never done this before. Not even some people who have created businesses different, okay, than an online business. But you have a little more belief if you have some kind of a success record. Might not be the success you wanted, but if you have some kind of success. But if you've never done anything like this before and you've been an employee all your life, whether all your life is 23 years or all your life is 63 years, don't really matter here. Well, it does. You have 40 years more junk if you're 63. So, and thank God it doesn't take as many years to get rid of it or to shift it. You never get rid of it. You shift it than it does to get it. So be happy about that. But do you believe? You know, I have a story. Years ago, I was doing something, and I would have told you I believed that this was going to work for me, and it didn't. And today I have so much hindsight on it, okay? But when I can look back today, when I've looked back, I realized I wanted so badly to believe that I believed. That's interesting. I wanted so badly to believe that I believed. And I didn't really yet. I wasn't reading enough at that time. And I still had a lot of shifting to do. I still had a lot of old beliefs that were really other people's that were handed to me. So I know there are people that will tell you mindset's 80%, mindset's 90% even. Sorry, as far as I'm concerned, it's 100%. And you can do all the rest we're going to talk about. And if you don't have mindset, I'm not even going to tell you that you won't get some kind of success. It will be a longer, tougher road. And what will really happen on that long, tough road is your mindset will shift. And that's how you'll have the success. So it's like, why not? I have to laugh how many people fight this. It's like, are you reading? And they're like, what do you care? I'm doing these things here with this, on the paper, and I'm doing this thing on here. And I'm like, what book are you reading? Okay, so stop fighting that. It's probably the most pleasurable point at sometimes. Just take that time and read every day, and do like the book, the Slight Edge says. Because most people that don't normally read, if you tell them read 30 minutes a day, they're like, are you nuts? I don't have time to read 30 minutes a day. We really all do. But just read 10 pages a day. Because I think when they figure it out, if you read 10 pages a day, in 1 year you'll read somewhere between 12 and 15 books. All right? And most people, after they get out of school, out of college, they don't read that many books in a lifetime. I'm not talking about mystery novels, all right? And I'm not talking about love stories. I'm talking about books that are, about personal development. I really believe, and like Think and Grow, and Think and Grow Rich, and Psycho-Cybernetics. I've been on that book big lately. I don't know if I'm on a hangout lately that I don't mention it. It was a life-changing book. So do you believe? And you're probably thinking, oh yeah, and you want to believe you believe. And that's the start. That's the start of it, but work, just know that that's a critical step that you're going. It's not like you got to get your mindset there, because there's no such thing. There's no such thing as getting it there. We're always expanding. So you start that process as you're doing the rest of these steps. But don't leave that step to last. I happen to think it's number one for a reason. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree with that, Ellie. That's I think the reason why we made that number one, because mindset. I agree with you. It is 100%. If you don't have that mindset, how can you move forward? But both you and Carol brought up an interesting point that made me think about transitioning from the corporate mindset that I had into more of an entrepreneur, online marketer mindset. And how that happened was that, number one, I made a decision. Number two, I took action on that decision. Number 3, I'm hanging out with people that are in this industry, that are making the kind of money, that are having the success, living the life that I want to live. So that's key that I found in this industry that I think is starting to bloom. And one thing that I know Carol and Ellie and I, we always share this, that getting around like minds, it really, really does matter. So you can transform that mindset shift, if you will, because you have that professional corporate thing, or at least, I did, and then transforming into this, online thing, it is a little bit tricky, and it is a mindset shift. And what it does, it makes you look within you. That's what this whole thing is about. It makes you look at you, because Ellie's not going to make me succeed. Carol's not going to make me succeed. They're going to help me. They're going to lift me up. And I do the same with, with them and our teams, but it's me, it's you that's going to develop, the success. So, okay, we're going to move on to then number 2, which is just as important, and that is what you really want. I remember I think it's in the Fast Start videos for Empower. It could be for iPass too, but it does talk about, David Wood talks about that. What is it that you really want? There's an exercise in there that really, sits you down and you write it out in detail, what it is that you really, really want. And a lot of people, I know for me, I didn't know what I really wanted. So, that kind of goes with mindset as well. And so that's why we made it number 2. So on to Carol.
Thank you. Again, what do I want? What do we want? That sort of goes back to the why, as you said. And the first thing, of course, is, well, I want to make some money. I have to. I want to, and I have to. And the more, the better. But then comes the question, why? Why? What do I want to do with this money? All right, I want to pay my bills. I want to get out of debt. And I want to travel. We do travel some, and I'd like to travel to even farther places and more frequently. I love to travel. All right, that's nice. And then, but why? Well, because it makes me feel free. I can come and go as I want. That's what we're here for, to be free. All right. And then you just keep going with the why, One of the bottom lines, is that right, bottom lines? Yeah. For the why, for me, is always, it comes down to freedom of thought. And that blows my mind, because I never even thought of that until I came into this business. And our founder talked about that a lot, that when I was working before, what did I used to think about? I used to think about getting to work on time, about, geez, am I going to be able to make any overtime this week? Blah, 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 ad infinitum, what bills are coming up. But now, there's time to just every day I sit out on the porch or chill out in the chair and just kind of let my mind drift and just wherever it wants to go. And to me, that is the greatest freedom on earth. I love that. So that is a huge, huge, huge why for me. And in addition to that, spreading it out on a social platform, as I mentioned quickly before, that within the community, there certainly are people who are floundering. They come from another business maybe and weren't doing well there and didn't really get a good start. Maybe they didn't build a good mindset foundation, etc. And to be able to lend a hand to these folks, even just sometimes you see them ask one question on a forum or something. If you can answer that one question, you know, you can open up a whole new world for them, which is great. So just being able to do those things is fantastic for me. And those are really my whys at this point. And I know darn well that this onion is going to unfold some more, and more is going to be made apparent to me. And one other thing I wanted to say which went out of my head, so I'll pass it on to Ellie.
Well, if it comes back in your head, jump in. Never really went out. Just it's there. When people say, "Oh, I lost it," you don't lose it. It's there. That's a whole nother topic, but it's really not. Here's what I'm laughing at when you ask somebody, "What do you want?" Want to know what? I've done this before I came specifically into this business. I've worked with people with this for a long time. When you ask people what do they want, they will tell you what they don't want. So we're really, really good at what we don't want. I don't want this shit. That's okay. I don't want this job. I don't want this little bit money. I don't want this stress. They tell you what they don't want. So when you know what you don't want, and if that comes natural to you, it's not really natural, but we've been trained that way. We've been so trained. Write down all the stuff you don't want. Go ahead and do it. Write it all down. Put a line down the paper, and then for each thing, I don't want this job. Okay, well then what do I want? Maybe it's not even a job. It's I want my own successful business. And cross off that thing that you just said what you don't want. Cross it off. Okay, next thing, I don't want this little bit of money. Here's another one people won't do. You say, well, okay, well, how much money do you want? Well, I want a lot of money. What the hell is a lot of money? Did you ever go to the bank and say, what's my balance? And they said a lot of money? They didn't do that. A lot of money. And again, we don't have that number. I think because we're afraid of it. That's what I've seen. Most people don't like to say those numbers. They're almost afraid of admitting those numbers. And they're afraid that it's too low or it's too high. It's really funny. People are really funny with that. And what if I say too low and then I want more than that? What then? They're like afraid to say this. Oh, if I say this here, and what if it's too low? It's like not going to happen. It's like that's ridiculous. Okay, that's ridiculous. So, and as Carol said, that's always expanding. And the what is related to the why, but that why will, because here's the real bottom line, all right? And Carol, you said it, and it's freedom. That's everybody's why. But even if you're saying, well, my why is because I want to help other people, that's freedom. To be able to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, with whom I want to do it with, that's freedom. That's what it really is. Now, it's great if you have that even more defined, but that's not a have to. I know people say if your why don't make you cry. I think too many people use that to hold themselves back. I don't really know what my why is. I don't have a bigger purpose than I am. And they got all caught up in that bull crap. And just get into what, okay? Why is freedom. Don't worry about it. Because I do know that why expands. I do know that because it's first your needs. That is the why, okay? And it ought to be. It ought to be your needs. But when you have that, then you go beyond that, all right, in even bigger and bigger ways. So I wouldn't get so worried. And that thing you're talking about, Lynn, is done in the top producer formula, and it's less than one. Dave does it, and that's a phenomenal piece he does in there on how to visualize and bring that whole vision out. It's really, really important. I have to laugh because it's a so-called, business product, and it is, all right, but the first module of it is how to put out that vision and how to see it and how to bring your senses into it, because you've got to make it real. If you keep it over here fuzzy, if you keep your what and your why fuzzy, if you don't make some statements of it and you keep it all fuzzy, guess what? Your life stays fuzzy. I'm not being fresh, okay? And I promise you, a lot of people that are watching this have fuzzy lives if they haven't done that. And I can say that because I've been there, done that. I had a fuzzy life, right? So, excuse me. So it's so important. If you can start to tell me what you don't want, write it down, and then make sure you go through each one. And as you get, if you know what you don't want, you do know what you do want, and then cross that off, cross that off, cross that off, and get that list of things that you want. And yes, it's okay if the list changes. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and that's right. It wasn't the top producer, and so anybody that has that product should definitely go through that first module. And I've gone through that first module twice. I'll probably go through it I don't know how many more times, because when you get these training products and programs, somebody, I think it was Mars, made quoted a statistic. Like 99% of the people don't even open up the product or program that they purchased. And I'm just like, wow. And then, they bitch and complain and they're quitting and, all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, if you have that product, Top Producer Formula, go check out that first module. Okay, so we're going to move along to critical step number 3, and this is kind of getting into the technical side of starting your online business. And it's just as important as everything else, because we're still thinking about what it is that we want for our business, okay? So that's critical step number 3 is your target market. Who's your audience? Who are the people that you want to connect with, that you want to, form a connection with and build a customer rapport and all that kind of thing? That is really, really important, and it is kind of technical. I mean, yeah, you could go online and search and all that kind of stuff. But, just follow your passion. What's your passion? What people do you find that are attracted to you normally? And then, kind of like your background's going to fit into that as well. Like, I call myself a corporate robot because that's where I came from. So I kind of relate to a lot of people that have been in the corporate, background, and also real estate, real estate lending industry. So I talk to a lot of people. They'll come up to me at events or at other social gatherings, and they'll say, oh, you were in real estate lending too, and I'm like, yeah. And then we talk about the stories and all this. So you can make these connections with people and start building your business right away just based on that. But I know Carol and Ellie, they've got some great tips on this as well.
Yeah, well, when I first started, I'm getting an echo here from someplace.
Did I?
When I first started in this business, I remember hearing one of the big leaders talking about your target market and how important it is to zero in on it. And I thought, yeah. And then I'm thinking, well, who is my target market? And then I started thinking in terms of what Lynn said, and I thought about, other people like myself, certainly not 20-year-olds, and probably females more than males, although it doesn't have to be. And, I thought that was good enough. And then even more recently, which surprised me because I thought I had this pretty well nailed down, we've come across a new training that has taught me to really zero in, nail down who this target market person is, and think of it in terms of one person. And you give this person a name, pick out an age, what are they working? Are they not working? Are they married? Are they not married? Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? How old are the kids? How are they doing financially? Where do they live? You don't have to know the street number, I guess, but are they living in the UK? Are they living in the United States? Are they living in Australia? What's their education level, et cetera, et cetera. And I find that the more that you're able to nail this down, the more you're really able to talk to that person and get them to the right products that you want to, that would be appropriate for them. And also to know what words to use that would appeal to them. So it's more than just looking in the mirror and someone like yourself. You need to know a little bit more, a lot more, about your target market. And I will pass it off to Ellie and see what she has to add about
Well, I mean,
that.
yeah, that's cool. What we've been doing is and I have to laugh because Sue was, I don't know, she was called a DJ. She was on a radio show, and she talked about that she got a person that listened to that station, and she talked to that person all the time. I mean, obviously she was talking to everybody who was listening, but she was talking to that person. And still, somehow, we didn't get it. So, I laugh at that because it is a lot more than I think most people think. We put a lot of time into this right now, but I'm not brandy new. And while I like to see brand new people start out here, if you're brandy new, just start talking to people like you, similar to you, and then fine-tune it. In other words, brand new people have a tendency to could take all of these steps and take, like 4 years to get them perfect. And there's no such thing. So just start, because to some degree, the person is, I think, always similar to you. You have similar, there's not too many people, I don't think, like me. So I couldn't really just talk to me. I have a very interesting background of what I've done and where I've been, and but similarities in belief systems, in how we were raised, usually within that age bracket. And I say you want to go to someone similar and then expand on that, as Carol was talking about. And when you can do that, then you can go to other markets from there. But you first have to know how to talk to these people. And here's the biggest mistake people think. Oh, if I just talk to that person, then I'm missing all these other ones. And, I hate the saying because it's true. If you're talking to everyone, if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. And that is what happens, because you have to dilute the message to such generalities, thinking I'm touching all these different people, all right, that it's not ringing a bell, it's not ringing a chord, it's not resonating with any of those people. So if you're brandy new, start talking to people similar to you, and then start to take this and learn it further, because you can really expand it and learn really how to speak with them, what works, what they want to hear, how they want to hear it, what is their pain points, and what is the solution you supply. I don't like talking about people's pain. I want to always talk about their solution. But I need to know their pain to talk about their solution. That's my 84 cents.
Wow, she's up to 84 cents. Jeez. Well, I agree that you have to at least start from somewhere. You have to have some kind of audience when you're starting your online business. So take those points that Carol and Ellie shared, because it is true. You gotta start somewhere, but dial it in. Don't think that I'm just going to throw all these noodles up against the wall and see what sticks. It's just not going to happen. So now we're going to move into critical step number 4, and that is to choose a social media platform and learn it well. Now, I love social media, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to, put down any one platform, but I will say this. Everyone should have at least a Facebook personal profile. And let me say, let me share this with you without making this an hour-long hangout, because I could go on and on and on about social media. People are doing it all wrong out there when they're starting their online business with these social sites. If you're going to start off with Facebook, pick one more other social site like Twitter or Pinterest or LinkedIn or whatever. Don't just think all you need is Facebook. The other thing is, look at your profile. Fill out your profile. Fill out the information in your About section on your Facebook. I promise you, you will get a lot more engagement, interaction, a lot more people contacting you, making connections, if they can see, how they can contact you. Yeah, you're going to get a bunch of stupid people too, but that's what the block button is for. Block them or whatever you have to do. But you want to be accessible to people. You want people to know that you're in business and you're a business person. And the more that you can fill out in your profile, the better it will be. Have a great, smiling face, all that kind of thing. But the social sites is a great way to get your business, your small business, online business off the ground. But do it the right way. Don't just put a logo or a cartoon picture or anything like that as your profile picture. And don't, fill out the About Me. I can't tell you how many profiles I go to. There's no information on these folks. And then they're crying wolf on these social sites and saying, well, nobody's connecting with me. Well, because we're in a day and age right now where technology is all around us. I mean, we've got the smartphones, we've got the computers, we've got, there's technology everywhere. We can get online just like that, and people can find out about you just like that. So the more that you engage with people and allow people into, learning more about you, that is where it's going to help you. So that's that's probably $2 worth.
Yeah, not too much I can add to that, Lynn. You covered a lot there. Except for one thing, and I will say I would put social media together with focus, which is and consistency. To my way of thinking, those are two main words that lead to success in this business, other than mindset. Mindset number one, and then focus and consistency. And let me explain a little bit about that. Excuse me. I started off on Facebook because, to me, that was the easiest one. And, I had been on it a little bit before, and I could just expand some. And I feel comfortable on it. I like Facebook. All right, Facebook is a pain in the neck. Sometimes it keeps changing the algorithms, and you have to adjust and blah, blah, blah. But when you think it's a free platform, I mean, they offer us a lot for nothing to pay for it. But at any rate, I started to say about focus and consistency. A little while afterwards, all these other things started coming to my attention. They were probably out there, but I'm fairly new in this business, and it just started coming to my attention. Pinterest and what are the others there? Twitter and Google Plus and blah blah blah, LinkedIn, down the line, and I started seeing people talking about all of these things, and I said, oh my God, I got to learn all this, and I hate it. I hate the technical part. I have like anxiety attacks over it. So it's just me. It's just me. I'm beginning to get over it as time goes on. But I worked on that Pinterest forever, and I couldn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. So then I said, all right, well, let me try another one. And, I was just bobbling around, going no place with any of them. So consistent, yeah, I was consistent. I kept trying, but focus, no. I had no focus. I was going all over the place with it and getting nowhere. Finally, now, today in recently I've reached a point where I see Pinterest things popping up all the time on my screen. So people are repinning and liking and what have you. So I must have crossed some kind of a line there that I'm reaching some success on it. But my main focus is Facebook, and my recommendation to people is, as Lynn said, pick one or two. And just don't go off on all these others like I did. It was such a waste of my time. The ones that make sense to you, the ones that are the easiest for you to learn, and the ones that relate to your business the most. Stick with them until you learn them and you've got them down pat. Then you can go to another one. Same thing. Then another one, and you can expand on out. But that's my two cents on this topic.
Only 2 cents? There's not much more to add here. I have a pet peeve about people that have that shadow as their face. Or, their dog. And your dog is cute, but, like, that's not, unless that is you, okay? And then I probably don't want to do business with you. Or the flowers, like those are really pretty flowers, but I don't, it's hard for me to to relate to you and talk to you while I'm looking at a flower. So, and I actually talk to my plants. It's not that I don't talk to my plants. See that? I just don't get that, And here's a big one. And this, a lot of people will balk about. If you're in business on the internet, your profile should be public. Okay? People ought to see what you're putting up there. And if you want to do, and you can do this, so go learn how to do it. Google it. Google is your friend. Okay? You can make lists of your family, all right, and maybe your special friends, because you want to put up pictures that just they see it. You can do that. You have that capability. Even as a public profile, you have the capability of just, if you make lists and it sends out just to these people, just those folks see it, not everybody else does. So take the time to learn this. I happen to believe you should have a page, a business page. I don't know, they called it fan pages. Now I think we call it business pages. And they're not easy to get people to anymore, so that's not even the reason. It is true. I mean, Facebook wants you to pay for ads. Like, hello, it's been free for a long time. So, but if you're ever going to do that, all right, if you're ever thinking I'm going to target and learn how to do ads, you need that. You need that page. So you can play with that, but you absolutely get that profile. Like Lynn said, please tell us something about you and who you are. Please put your face there. Hopefully it's smiling. And and make it public. Don't just show us, 3 or 4 different things. Let people see. People do want that. Like, I can't believe how much our personal pictures get, like, all over. Personal pictures. We're at the casino or we're laughing somewhere and we take a selfie together. And they get the most damn comments, or my sunsets from over here. They get tremendous comments. So people keep thinking that you can't build relationships online, and you can. Tremendous relationships. And social media, the word social is there. So please don't just put your damn link over and over and over and over again. Be a human being. Now that's probably $2.22.
Yeah, it is. And we could get into that big time, because that's a whole other thing.
Right.
Okay, well, because we're kind of a little short on time tonight, because we do have our training over for the Kalatu Premium blogging platform, we're going to combine here the 5 and 6 is start to build your list. You got to build a list, okay, an email list. And then also follow-up emails. That's the way to build, rapport with the people that subscribe to your list. But the biggest, and I believe the most important part of this whole online business thing is the hub of your business, the heart, the soul, the online real estate, and that is your blog. That's number 7. Critical step number 7 is your blog. You have to have a blog. And I know some people are saying, but why? Why can't I just have a website? And I know Ellie could get into this, big time, but the blog is a site. It is a website, but a blog allows you to do other things, mainly the content side of things, okay? That's the important piece to a blog. We have buttons below if you want to check out the Klaatu, I think it's Klaatu Premium is one of the buttons. And then there's a video button down there too that you can check out. But, a blog is something that you're going to have. And whether, I know we can get into the free ones versus the paid ones and versus Klaatu and all those differences, and maybe we'll have a hangout that's specifically for that, because I know people have been asking that question. But I want Carol and Ellie to touch on the reason why a blog, and the blog, by the way, helps you build your list. Just so you know, that's why I'm kind of rolling it all into one here because of time. It definitely will help you to build your list. It definitely will help you to share content on your social sites, and it'll definitely let you share your passion, which is part of the thing we talked about today, for your mindset and your why and all that kind of thing. So I'm going to relay this over to Miss Carol.
Thank you. Somehow I think it's going to find its way back to you again. Let's see if it does or not. The blog, yes, the hub. I always think of it as a wagon wheel with the big spokes going out in different directions. And as the spokes that are going out are your video, any video marketing that you do, your social media, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Pinterest, whatever it happens to be. Any paid ads that you do. Some people go in for paid advertising, different things, solo ads, purchased lists, etc., etc. And they all come back to your blog, as you say, the hub, the center, the main thing. And on your blog, you also can do more marketing. Generally, it has, it should have a sidebar along the bottom. Some people put things along the top. You design it the way you want. That's the joy of it too. So it's very personalized. But yeah. And then on your blog, you talk about whatever you like to address those people that we spoke of earlier, your finely tuned target market. I'm just going to leave it there right now, and as I say, I think this might circle around some more, so let me pass it off to Ellie.
I don't know if we're circling too much here. We have a bunch of circling to do, but somebody said it. Once I've heard somebody once before. If you don't have a blog on the internet, you're homeless on the internet. You're homeless. So I can't believe there's any business that doesn't have some kind of website on the internet today. Because everybody now, like Lynn says, all right, we got for Smones. That's a smartphone in one word. Smone. I do that all the time. Carol knows. I shorten my words. So you're running to this thing. And you're looking something up immediately. You hear something about a business or what have you. They're looking for you on here. Everybody's looking for you on there. You're doing it too, most of you. So you absolutely need to have that on there. I built a coaching business just by sitting down blogging. In essence, talking to that market that I knew I would reach, that I had a solution, okay, for their pain. I had a solution for their pain. And I talked about it. I talked about it in various ways, okay? I talked about it using experiences from my life, what happened on that day, how, so, and that's the same thing with any kind of blog. And you're bringing that solution there to that person. You're also creating a relationship. So if you don't have a blog, you are homeless on the internet. I can't even understand how anybody would try to start a business, have a business, and not have some representation, your real estate on the internet. It's as simple as that. I can't. That is $44.44.
Or with Klaatu Premium, it's I think you can test it out for $47. But anyway, what I was going to say is blogs will change your business. That was a blog post I wrote about a while back, and it definitely will change your business. Your blog is your brick and mortar online, your virtual store. So you can sell, with it. You can communicate with it. You can attract, people to your blog. You can entertain people. You can have a hangout just like this on your blog. See, we could invite people to our blog and have it on one of the pages or have it on, a post. You can do all sorts of things and be creative, and what happens then, people get to know you and they start connecting with you, liking you, all that kind of good stuff, and this is what builds your business. So that's why a blog builds your business. Blogging for profit is something different, and that's why we bring up Klaatu Premium, because Klaatu Premium was designed for blogging for profit, okay? So if you're a business for profit, hope you are, then Klaatu Premium is something you should check out, and that's all I have to say for right now.
Yeah, one of the things that I particularly love about this Klaatu, as you well may have gathered from what I've been saying, not only tonight but other times probably on this Hangout, is that I am not the most techie person in the world, and I'll be the first to admit it. So Klaatu is, I'm going to say, relatively easy to use. As easy as it is, it took me a couple of times to get the hang of it. But now, I mean, I can almost do it in my sleep, for goodness sakes. So I love that about it. I love the fact that it's logical to me now. It makes sense. It's easy for me to use. So that I love. And in terms of, I think Ellie said it, and I think Lynn followed up on it, people not having a blog in their business. Right in the little town that we live in, there's a few new businesses that have opened up lately that have kind of brought some life back to the town, which is delightful. One of the businesses is on a little bit of a side street. It's about half a block down, and he has a sign out on the main street. And I went in there, and the place was dead. And I've never seen it online. I've not heard people talking about it. I'm going to bet that guy doesn't have a blog or anything. So one of these days I might stop in there and talk to him about it. But to me, that's an example of what happens to your business when you don't have something online. Because the other folks, it might not be the best in the world, but at least they got something up online that you know what's going on, you know they exist, you know that they have a menu, you know what hours they're open, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I can't fathom having a business today and not having a blog, actually. Blog is dynamic. Website, just the website itself with a page is static. And today everything is interactive and back and forth and communication and all that business. So I don't know. You got to have a blog in my book. So let me move it along.
I have to jump in here. Okay, I'm laughing my ass off. So anybody that's on here, that's maybe a baby boomer or thinking, oh, I'm too old to learn all this stuff. I can't believe what Carol is just talking about, all right? This is the person who said to me a year ago, I don't think I can do that stuff that you do because I'm not good with this computer stuff and all. And I was like, change your mindset, okay? Start reading, and you'll learn. You'll learn. It's not, and I'm sitting here going, listen to her. Holy crap, she's explaining this better than me. So I just love it. If there's anybody in here that watches this that doubts, can I learn that stuff? Maybe I'm too old. Oh, please. All right? But it starts with mindset, and then it starts with all the things we're talking about here, and focus and consistency. And you're using your blog. You're losing your blog. I'm laughing when she's talking about this. People, there are some places here that we need to go talk to them, too, because they got static websites. It's like, hello, how could you do that? And I was technical. I started blogs years ago, okay, and when, you know, WordPress was new and it was blowing up every other week, and you had to go in and learn code, and I learned HTML, and I learned CSS, and I could hack it, all right, and let me tell you what, I didn't want to learn that crap. I just wanted an online business, you see, and I needed that real estate online. I needed it, so I had to learn all this crap. I had to be techie. I didn't want to be. The amazing thing now is you can get on here and bloop, you got a website set up. You have no idea, okay, what I had to go through to set up websites before. This is push the button easy, all right? You don't have to update it. I mean, update the the platform. That's all done for you. It's all done for you. It's not like that when you run a WordPress blog. It's not all done for you. So, and still to today, all right, I gotta go in. I do still have some sites on the old on WordPress, and I have to go in and update this and see what's breaking what. So it's amazing. That's what that button is down below. It makes this. You don't have to learn all that techie stuff that I had to learn. You just have to learn this stuff that we're talking about. It's amazing. I'm good.
I think with that we can end another wonderful $1 million mission hangout here, because I think we shared the 7 critical steps to, you know, an online business. I know we kind of went over very quickly the email and follow-up, but you know, maybe we will get into some more specific, you know, hangout topics and things like that. But now we're off to, what are we off to? Kalatu land, right?
Yes, that's right. So being in premium, we have a training going on because we're always learning.
That's the key. That's for sure. All right, Ellie, why don't you toast us out?
Let's do it. We're gonna toast. Carol, you toasting us? I'm self-sufficient. No, unmute yourself.
There she goes.
She is.
Cheers.
Nostrovia.
There you go.
Click that button below if you want more information or get in touch with the person who invited you. We'll be back. Will we be back next week? Yes, we will. And then we'll
yeah.
Okay, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.